Hello, I'm Nathan.
Hi, I'm Steven.
And I'm Nelwyn.
National debt
Is way too high.
We need to cut it.
Cut it, cut it, cut it.
The most urgent issue for the new administration to focus on in 2017 is the national debt. Why? The increasing debt means increasing taxes, which means no money for the middle and lower classes.
Citizens will not be able to keep up, and it will lead to more problems as the years go by. This is a very important issue because it affects all Americans to some degree. If we don't take action now, this problem will be too big for us to handle.
Here we see the incline of national debt since 2009. It is projected to grow to $20 trillion by fiscal year 2017.
The US is currently $19 trillion in debt, and with our debt continuously increasing, we will end up having to borrow more money.
As you can see from the top left of the clock, the US national debt is increasing rapidly, while as seen on the top right, the amount of tax dollars is increasing rapidly as well. We are working hard to help pay for a federal budget that Congress makes, which most of the time we don't even have money for. There will be less jobs, and in addition, the value of the dollar will decrease as well.
Because the amount of national debt is increasing, the amount of jobs is decreasing annually. This is due to the increasing taxes. Businesses cannot afford to hire more and more people as they will be busy using their money to pay for the money Washington needs.
They don't look at our largest programs, our retirement programs, our healthcare programs, all of which really need to have oversight and for us to address some of the future funding shortfalls that their trustees are predicting. So all of this kind of blood, sweat, and tears to not get a real budget in place is only over a small sliver of the budget. So I guess I would say bottom line, our budget process is broken. We need a very significant overhaul. And in many ways, I think it's kind of reflective of the dysfunction that we're seeing in Washington, where we just can't get the basic tenets of governing even underway.
Okay. Although many people would like to help lower the debt, according to BusinessInsider.com, the Republican Party is against raising taxes to help decrease national debt.
Scott Brown of BusinessInsider.com states that although we are in a large deficit, there is no certain amount at which America will fall apart financially.
Senator David Perdue wants a plan to lower and pay for the national debt. As Carl Ted, author of nationaldebtsolutions.org, says that as the national debt increases every second, we're closer and closer to poverty.
That we begin to think about each other. We begin to think about those who come behind us. You know, when I look out there and I see all of these young people, I think back to Thomas Jefferson, who said that it is immoral to pass debt on to the next generation. I mean, $18+ trillion of national debt? Think about that. I mean, if you tried to pay that off at a rate of $10 million a day, it would take you over 5,000 years. And we're putting that on your backs. But that's the good news, because it's actually much worse than that. The fiscal gap, which is the amount of money that the government owes going forward, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all the government agencies and programs, what we owe for that, versus what we expect to bring in from taxes and other revenue sources. If we were responsible, of course, those numbers would be almost identical. If you're not responsible, a gap develops there. Bring it up to today's dollars, it's called the fiscal gap. It sits at over $200 trillion. Somebody has to be responsible for that.
As previously stated by Ben Carson, our debt will continuously be passed on from generation to generation. We can also see that as the years pass by, the amount of debt increases faster than the amount of revenue made.
Overall, the new administration of 2017 should focus on the national debt, as there will be fewer jobs, less income for lower and middle class families, and higher taxes.
We are spending more money than we receive in tax dollars. This will cause the U.S. to have a bad reputation because we cannot pay anyone back. Our debt will continue to increase as we spend more and more money.
If we do not help lower the national debt now,
Future generations will have to solve the problem caused by previous generations. It's an endless cycle.